Fantastic. Lena, do you want to start with reading out your story, please?
Yeah, I can do that.
Fantastic.
Wait for everybody to get on.
Yeah, you can do this. Was it this Laura? Who else was there? Is it Tamil?
I really didn't know you had to write something down. I've just been quite busy with so many things, but I can tell my story. I haven't written anything down, but I can tell it.
Bless you, bless you. Well, hopefully, Sean. Once we didn't expect people to write anything down, so there is no pressure at all. It's your opportunity.
It's just the past week, actually, I've been laying flat on my couch with a dislocated hip, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was not that much. It just pushed like 2 centimeters forward and got stuck. Because this guy pulled on
me. That's a big guy.
Yep. He pulled on me, and I wasn't prepared for it, and it's just like it kind of got stuck. Wow. Anyway, and I am working on a Facebook group at the moment as well, doing a lot of strategies for organic marketing and stuff like that. Fantastic. Working on some YouTube content as well, so it's been well busy. So I haven't really, but I would love to share my story.
Perfect. I mean, let's see how we get on with the structure. Like I said, there's no pressure. Can I just ask Tamlin? You hear us okay, Tamlin? Thank you for joining us. Do you know how to utilize Zoom? Can you hear us, Tamlin?
What you can do is press Alt-A.
Sorry,
I can. I'm actually listening while I'm on the train. I'm on my way home. So I can hear you.
Excellent, that's fine. Well done, love your commitment there. Where are you travelling?
Glasgow.
Glasgow, wow. Bless you. That's fine. Brilliant, great. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to start the process into sharing the story. So thank you for coming and listening. Brilliant.
Okay,
thank you. Excellent. So, Lena, if you want to start, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, great. So, hi, my name is Lene Korsåsen, born in Denmark in 1973. I grew up in a town in the middle of Jutland with my 3.5 years younger brother and parents in a calm and safe Christian environment. But throughout my life, I've been a part of a variety of different environments because I'm curious and chose to discover how other people think and live. In my upbringing, I was taught to focus on the external matters, such as choosing a safe and secure education. To follow my passion and interest was looked upon as a waste of time and not sustainable in the long run. It was a common opinion that you can't make your living doing what you like to do. You have to work hard, and then you can take a vacation to relax and gain energy to get by until the next vacation. Also, it was very important never to put yourself and your needs first. That was selfish and a sin. Always serve others first. So, since I felt that my desires were wrong, I tried to forget about my needs, dreams, and desires to make my family and other people happy and get some recognition. And that habit has followed me throughout my connection with other people at work and at home. But what will happen to your inner being, your self-esteem, and your body when trying to put it away? Well, I faced stress, depression, and anxiety. So my journey started with hitting the rock bottom, realizing my need for change, my need for connecting with like-minded people, and rediscovering the power of following my heart, my dreams, my passion, and being true to myself. By trusting my heart and having faith, and with a little help from my new friends, while still having the need for money, food, and shelter, enabled me to take huge positive changes in my life. All I ask of you while reading my story is respect for my journey and my experiences, which have enabled me to take responsibility for my life, my future, and my truth. We all have our unique stories to tell, and you have your story to tell. by respecting each other's journeys and with an open mind, we can empower each other to grow and find our true power. And with these skills and tools, we can affect generations in the future too. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Hello and welcome to my story. My name is Kasia Śmietanka. I was born in a small town called Pionki in Poland, one of 5 children. I was the youngest one. My siblings were much more older and I felt the age gap all the time when I was a child. I had the strange feeling that I have nobody around me to play with me or share my thoughts and worries as a child. My closest brother was 5 years older than me and he was not engaged to play with me as well. When I was born, my oldest sister was married and she had a family with baby, so our relationship were always very cold. My oldest brother was much more warm person. He looked after me when I was born, and when I was 3 years old, he got married. I was always around adult people and pretend to be adult before it is supposed to be. I was always helpful since I was 6 or 7 old, and even I was not told to do housework, I knew that my mom needed the help. I felt the pressure very often that I should do more than other children in my neighborhood. I was helping my mom in age of 8. It was not a fun, it was must. I was very organized and my friends were surprised and maybe even laughing at me behind my back that I had a diary when I was in primary school. Looking at my village I was growing in and the opportunities, I knew that I had to move away as soon as possible. I wanted to do something big. This time, I didn't know what it was and how I supposed to achieve it. The first step was to change the environment. I want to stay in different place and going to high school far away. I was lucky this time in my life as my mom had the possibilities to offer me private boarding school. I met a lot of friends from different parts of Poland and I had a lot of time to study and be focused on learning, not working. My mom was running a small and local business since I remember, and it was a hard work. It was not a fun at all. She couldn't count on my father's support. He was not interested in the business and in the family. He left us when I was 7, and it was very upsetting and dramatic time for me and my brother. I was too young to explain it all, why this happened, why our family was destroyed. Having a lack of relationship with my father after he left us, I was upset and very angry. Even I was doing well at school, there was always something missing. I was keeping all peers in distance. I didn't trust anybody. I was feeling very lonely and gave me a lot of time for thinking and asking questions. There was no answers for a long time. But now, being in my 30s, it is much more clear for me that my story is unique and it will give me the much more wisdom to create the life I want to run. My background and childhood were done by my family, but my future depends on me. Do I want to counting on others? Definitely not. This is my life and I can make it special every day. My main mission is to help people who are ready to change their life. Are you one of them? Thank you.
After reading Anthea's poem, which begins, all it takes is for one person to make a stance, to wake up from the dizzy trance, to free the mind is the only way to beat it, break the silence and be free. Sharing has really been the key. It makes me think about how much of our life is actually lived as if we are in a trance, almost sleepwalking through our lives, not really knowing which one is the dream and which one is the reality. Rising each morning to begin yet another day, but never fully waking up to what is really our life and participating with self-awareness and consciousness. There's always been this feeling that there's something more to life than everyone's telling us. I'm not talking about a secret society, but rather that there's more to the story than we're being told. I believe there's more meaning to our existence than we are led to believe. What I mean is in the sense that there's more importance than what we're told about our potential and the power that we have not yet discovered within. Despite growing up Catholic and knowing that I was expected to start a family of my own after getting an education, I knew it wasn't the path for me, or at least it wasn't what I wanted to do. And without it being said, I knew that I was not following protocol, and it was best for me to keep my plans to myself, not knowing exactly how I was going to break free from the imposed expectations when the time would come. I got to break the silence and be free when my mother died unexpectedly and suddenly the same night I spoke with her before flying out for Christmas. Up until then, I had been putting myself through college while working and trying to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. And with her death, all understood expectations were instantly erased, and my slate was clean to write my own destiny. However, I also felt like I had become an orphan. My biological father was a deadbeat dad, and my stepfather revealed that he was not obligated any longer to be a dad to me or my brother with my mom's death. The families on all sides had been fractured with mom's passing, and I felt like I really didn't belong to any one of them anymore. It has taken 2 decades before I could even begin to see that I had to free my mind from this false belief of being separate and all alone in this journey called life. It really is no way to live. We are all wounded souls walking around acting from a place of separation. Sharing really is the key, and what we have here is an opportunity to do just that. Share our stories so that we and others may learn and heal from it. And by doing so, we help others to tell their story and heal as well. Somehow we have forgotten that we are all empowering angels here to love, support, encourage, and heal each other so that we may remember who we are, what we came here to do, and that we are all one. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. So I think everybody who's signed up will have heard my story, but my name's Anthony Rosemary Fenton, and I was born in Lancashire, United Kingdom, one of 8 children. I grew up knowing adversity. As my story unfolds, I hope you're able to find comfort from knowing my formative years were not the place to stunt growth, depending upon the meaning that I chose to place upon it. My story has given me tremendous opportunities to contribute to the lives of many others because I chose to make it that way. Whilst we are taught to work hard and compete and focus on external matter, internally our spirit is at risk. A major part of this book is about reclaiming self through transformation. Working in caring for others from the age of 3, I observed the lack of care and adopted such bad practice. My journey begins with me recognizing my need for change and the importance of finding a place to be with others. During adverse times, I discovered the power of dreams and visions and the importance of following my heart. In the meantime of such internal discoveries, the external essentials continue. My need for money, food, clothing, shelter, and basic survival instincts. By trusting my heart and having faith, these enabled me to master change. As you read my story, all I ask is for respect. Respect for my journey and the lessons that I have learned that have enabled me to take responsibility for my life. I have developed a macro view of my journey as a visionary humanitarian, wondering in order to create equality and justice for all people, we have to empower each other. Empowering with transferable skills and tools which will sustain communities for generations to come. Money, health, and personal development are 3 key elements which affect all of us and are essential to this life. Knowing that I can empower people through sharing this program by taking steps of sharing my story and how Energy Orchard discovered me touches my soul. And those are the 3 areas that we're working on here: money, health, and personal development. Because I believe that if we can conquer those 3 areas, then we can change the way that our world is. And that's the thought, that's the pause for thought, reflecting your story, start writing here. And I certainly would encourage you, Sean, to sign up to be able to do that. I know you're keen and biting at the bit to do. I just want to make sure that people aren't overextending the time, because I did say 40 minutes that we'd be here and we're over that. So I really thank everybody for being here and to staying with us just to show what we're all about. And as you can see, that's the next chapter that we encourage people to write. And so what you do is read through it. There's an audio as well with it, and then you write your story. And then the next one is the community tree. So this is a place which is about a sense of belonging and how are we making our world a better place, because without each of us sharing our story, we're really not creating a better world. We're not releasing any past memories or hurts or shame, guilt, blame. A lot of those are always in denial, they're always in the past. So the purpose of coming into here is to be able to see that, including you as a community tree, share with us, and you will see that your concerns and your problems too are shared by people like me and you. A place where you can be yourself. So leave the label on the shelf. Identify what you have to offer to make our world a better place for others. Do you have something to offer? Because there's only you that can tell your story. And as I said before, once you've released your story, you then start finding stronger what it is that you've got to offer in this world. Because many of us are living in our past, but not necessarily consciously living in our past. It's just that we've not addressed some of our issues, or some of, not necessarily our issues, but other people's issues, our parents' issues, our grandparents' issues. So we're that seventh generation that is sharing in order to release all those generations and all our siblings and from the past and beyond as well. So again, we have a 10 visions of a 10 characteristics of a well-run, functioning community. We read all those out together. But again, it's worth just reading through those, because when you look through them and you think, these are really gentle characteristics, and is our world, or is this what our world, are we full of these 10 characteristics? Can we see these well-run and functioning communities? Because even though we might feel like, oh my, I'm only a one person on my own, collectively, the energy, when you put the energy out there collectively, we can change worlds. It only takes one person, and then that knock-on effect. So individually, if we can light up just our little space as we keep on growing, and we're evolving into transforming and creating, and who knows what, anything's possible. And then you write your story there, that's the page there, and then the pursuit of happiness. And again, this is probably a familiar sign to many people, that we are taught to strive for everything in life, work hard and you'll achieve. All we strive for is external to ourselves, but what's going on the inside? They're all external, but are they really what leads to happiness? And in the meantime, who's looking after the roles and responsibilities of well-run characteristics of a well-run functioning society? And then we ask you to reflect upon status. Labels of status give us a sense of well-being, like we've arrived, but arrived where exactly? We all want the best, and many of us have translated this to mean competing against each other. I wasn't somebody who wanted to compete. I knew that from day one of starting school. And so I always knew that I was destined for something, but I always knew that I was on my own, and I was thinking, I don't want to be on my own doing things. I want to be with community. I want to be with like-minded people. And it's only been really this last year that I found that community, that tribe of people who have often felt the same, felt isolated and lonely. And what we're doing is we're sharing our isolation and loneliness, and by sharing it, we're doing it together. And so we form a community by default in many ways. But it's incredible, because each of us are independent leaders in our own right, and all we're doing is coming together and sharing some skills and excelling and accelerating, so that we're not playing catch up. We're working with this strategy to really excel forward, because a lot of us, well, I know for myself, I feel quite impatient, because I feel like I've been at this work for a long time, but I know the power of working in a team. So even if people are working individually, and each of us are, to come together as a community with strength in numbers, and the storytelling is the way of doing that. So status is the last chapter in the first 5 chapters of the process, and that's what you receive, a well done, and then the next chapters are 5 chapters. So there's 4 lots of 5 chapters of the actual book itself, and it's really just taking your time just to reflect. And it's not like homework. It's really like a reflective journal. It's really just putting things in place and putting them in order. So I hope that that's given you a real good overview, and I hope it's something that you really feel like you're ready to start doing. Just any feedback will be fantastic for all of us, and then we can, any questions or anything like that would be wonderful. Sorry, I didn't want to be coughing too loud. Any feedback, any questions, anybody? Laura, have you got any thoughts? Because I know you've been around for a while. around the community. Any thoughts sort of what you've heard today?
No, yeah, I've been lurking.
Yeah, I've been lurking. Good word.
No, it's interesting. I just want to go to the webpage too, and if I have questions, I can ask you or Tracy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, it's one of those processes that it really is just working through it. It's interesting actually, because I don't know. I think Leanie and Tracy took the longest time, because we had a 12-week, didn't we? So we did a 12-week stint of 2 hours each week, and was it just 2 chapters? It must have been, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, yeah, we just did 2 chapters, and it just took a long time. Really, it was a bit too long. So
Yeah, and then we added another chapter, kind of accelerated, and then that was when we started seeing the speed storytellers coming through.
Yeah, the speed stories. So Leanie and Cassia were the speed storytellers. Cassie, I think you took Leanie, how long did you take? Was it 6 weeks?
No, 4, I think. Yeah,
4 weeks.
I think 4, max 4.5.
Yeah, and Cassie was the fastest. And Mealy, would you say that you did it fast, Leanie, or not? What would you?
Well, in a way, I did it fast. Yeah, I did it, but it was a good pace, I think.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't take too long either to go through, because you get in the flow of this, and the most important thing was this getting from the head space to the heart space, because I could feel the difference of when I was thinking too much about what to write, and when I got into the flow of just writing, and it just came out before I had to think. And that's why it was so important just to write by hand. Yeah. Because by writing by hand, it's like the pen started just flowing, and and I was wondering, what did I actually write? Yeah. And that's when the deep things and the truth came out, and I could feel that it was good that I kept this rhythm on. I put it as I took at least an hour a day that I had to write, because to me, I think if I had too long time, I think I'll get out of the rhythm. Yeah. And other things kind of will hinder my growth. Or
very interesting. Yeah, no, appreciate that, Leanie, because I think that's it. I think there's a pace, and I know that people have done, Tracy, like I said, the longer route, and then the shorter one, and I think that as soon as people just get into the rhythm of doing it, it's just doing it, putting it as a daily discipline of just reflecting, because what you're doing is you really, it just starts, it's getting your house in order. It just makes sense, and it releases any things that are unsaid or things that have been hidden. It allows them to come to the surface, and it frees you up to then continue doing the work that you need to do. So it's just a detox. And I think Maura, in terms of doing social work and using this as a therapeutic, that's my background, it's kind of like so I know that it was something that was missing. And then also when I was teaching, it was something that I just felt that social workers needed to express their own stuff, to kind of like say what we're helping other people. It's like, what without really, and I remember doing a diploma in counselling studies and just being blown away by the fact that the talking therapy was really important. So in this space, that's what we're doing, is allowing people to take responsibility for their own journey of exploring the truth. So yeah, it's absolutely essential.
Mm-hmm. So do you go through that with like a cohort, like the same group, or just one person, or like when you start do you start people off as a group? Or?
We do. We kind of like put down, it's very person-centered, so we ask people availability. So we generally have a couple of days because at the moment everybody is kind of shadowing. Thank you, Cassia. Have a great...
Thank you, guys. I need to go now.
Yeah, thank you, Cassia. Take care, lovey.
Bye.
So what we do is, so it might be Saturday, 4 o'clock UK time, we hold a session because people have been able to turn up to this one. So then we just say Saturday's open at that time. Anybody wants to come along. So we generally have at least 2. So at the moment, Tracy and Leni, as an example, and Cassia are learning how to hold space themselves. So they are shadowing with me. So they're being handheld through the process. So they've told their story. That's what qualifies them to invite other people. And then they handhold 10 people, get 10 testimonies, and then they're free to continue doing it as independent, but kind of like as a collective. So then they can build that alongside the work that they're doing. So that's where we're at the moment. So it's a brilliant way to be able to build your own community and to be able to take it into. We've got a lady in Australia who's taken it to Denmark. Lena's taken it into Denmark and doing a Danish version of Tell Your Story, and Cassia's wanting to take it into Poland, the Polish. So, and that's each individual person brings to the table how they want to expand it out, and then obviously as a group of us, then anybody who's in a similar position can duplicate, if you will. So it adds more strength. So it's magical, really. It's never been done before. So we're all pioneers in it. So it is really, everybody's a major part of the process.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and like I say, it doesn't take up a lot of time. It's actually good if people don't have a lot of time because they just get on with it. When somebody's got a lot of time, then it can be a bit harder because you kind of think, well, you're that much up here as opposed to down here. So yeah, so that's what we do. And obviously each person who's invited is mentored by somebody, so they're handheld all the way through. So that's where it is. So
Okay.
yeah, no problem. So I'm going to put in the link there so that if you haven't signed up, I think you have signed up because I think I invited you into the group actually a while ago. But can you remember receiving the 5-day video series? I know Sean signed up. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them. I think I don't think I've opened all the emails because I get a lot of emails.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the first 5 chapters are in there. The enrollment, I'm going to put enroll now because the enrollment, you'll see that it is, you'll see that what we do is we have a, so we have a payment option. So if people want, so it's £5 a chapter in UK money, which is, I don't know how much is that in dollars, Tracy, I'm not sure. But £5 a chapter is
about $8, yeah.
Yeah, about $8. That's a chapter. There's 24 chapters, and the last 3 chapters are pulling the book together and things like that. And what we do is we pay that forward, but we also have a healthy coffee option, so that when people go to the checkout, you actually get a free box of, if you pay all at once, a free box of either, and I just happen to have a sachet here, it's not intentional, either it's some coffee or I made myself a coffee, but it's a healthy coffee, so it's a really powerful drink. So we've included that so that when people, because we sit and often we've got our cups and we're just drinking, and it made sense to serve coffee. So if people pay for that full option, they get an option of hot chocolate, green tea, and coffee. And if not, there is a three-part payment of something like £40. And what we do is we pay that forward. So so we, as you tell your story, finish telling your story, then show you how managing to pay that forward, because it only takes one person to pay it forward. So it means that everybody can start creating an income if they choose to go out there and hold this space for people. But we try not to tell people to lead from the money side, but lead more from the story side, because that will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. So thank you so much. Thank you, Sean, for jumping out and sharing. I'm going to put the enrollment link is there. So do go on there. Feel free to take a copy of that. And
where's the link?
Oh, it's at the side. Is it? Can you see the box that says chat?
Yeah, but I only see Kassia's chat there. I'm only seeing her saying.
Sorry. Do you know why? Yeah. Sorry. Copy. I should have put it into the box for everybody. I've only put it in for Tracy.
Oh.
Tracy needs it. Thank you for that. There. Is that there? Brilliant. So yeah, do feel free to share the word. And like I said, if you've got any problems, are both of you on the Facebook Tell Your Story community? And Laura is.
Yeah, I think Asha added me.
Brilliant. And that's just there where you can just see some of the testimonies of people's stories. But thank you so much for being here this afternoon, and Leni and Tracy as well, for coming and sharing your story, because it can be a bit daunting to come and share your story, but we are all kind of like, not necessarily seasoned professionals, but we do enjoy seeing new faces. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed. Get back in touch with Tracy, with Tracy and with Cassia, Sean, and yeah, Sean, I hope to see you in the community soon, because I feel that you're ready, without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have grown a lot. Even the past 4 or 5 months, I've grown a lot.
Yeah.
I've been spending the last 6 months on trying to go into internet marketing and not going anywhere, and getting poorer and poorer, and then finally finding something that actually works. And now I'm starting to earn money and developing.
Fantastic. That's perfect. That's brilliant. And we'd like to hear more. And that's why I want you to come into the community to share your story, because I think once people have shared the story, then they've got, there's just bringing that energy, that new energy to the community, and showing people that it works, and showing what you're doing as well alongside that. So yeah, it'd be great to see you. And definitely you, Laura. I'm so looking forward to hearing your story, without a doubt. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you so much, honestly. Thank you, Leni.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.